back again with the 2 a.m. motivation to show you guys the collection room. I don't think I've ever given you guys a room tour. To be fair, this specific room I've only been in for maybe a week or two, not counting vacation. So while I got you here, I'm going to show you all the important stuff, kind of explain some stuff, and we can get in and out, and you guys can give me your opinions and maybe even some advice on some of this stuff. Like at one part, I could really use some lighting, and I would love some insider tips. So first off, we'll just start right here. We got my Marvel Legends. I was a huge Marvel Legends collector before DC Multiverse. I was kind of overlapping and doing them at the same time, but at the time it was way more Marvel Legends. I'm gonna be honest, and it doesn't even make much sense. I think it was mostly because of the Build-A-Figures. I really got that FOMO, or just really wanting to complete the Build-A-Figure. And the weird thing is the way McFarlane does his, it's usually only 4 figures. So it makes sense to collect those more. I think I was just deeply in love with Marvel at the time. Sadly, that sense has really waned off, and some of their newer projects I just don't care for as much or haven't really made time to watch. So I'll point out some of my favorites and we can get on to the next thing. The Hydro Stomper was a really cool story, and I'll be quick. There is a place in Michigan called, I think, Nerd Out. Nerd Out. I got that from there, and I was really happy. They had a bunch of like really wanted figures. Like they had a crazy stock of Marvel Legends and Funko Pops, like Chases and the whole 9 yards. But the Hydra Stomper was pretty expensive, and I was looking for it for a while, so I was really happy to get that. A lot of the What If figures I like I love the Captain America zombie, the Captain Carter, especially obviously Hydra Stomper. But a lot of them also kind of got old for me. And then here's the What If Spidey too. Besides that, up to this point and probably far after, I'm going to love to collect Spider-Man villains. Marlin or Morlin, I can't remember. I knew little to none about, and it turns out he was one of the few to ever, I believe, fully kill Spider-Man, which is crazy in one of the storylines. So it's cool getting to know him after I got the figure. Stiltman, I still need to complete the Build-A-Figure, so he's just headless and doesn't have the hood either. Venom, I actually got as a present for Christmas, and Miles Morales from my girlfriend Acadia, so shout out. That Venom figure I love, probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends, along with Acadia got me the Frogman too. The cool thing about the line, and even a lot of the DC Multiverse, is I don't always know about the characters or that specific like time they were written, so it's really cool to look into. Another really cool one I have to point out, obviously, Taskmaster. The Black Widow line is one of my favorite lines because, and I don't have them up here, I still, little note really quick, there's still stuff down in the downstairs room that I have to bring up here. It's just mostly up here, but there's little stuff I still got to bring up. But anyways, the Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure wave is one of my favorites. Crimson Dynamo is done so well. I love Taskmaster. I think it's Spy Master is the other one too. I knew like little to nothing about the actual like character, but how it looks and the bodies it's on, I just absolutely love. It was kind of weird how they did Taskmaster in the movie, but I'm not a big hater of it. I kind of liked it, just wish Taskmaster got more time. Prowler, I love that. The Into the Spider-Verse like look. I do really want the comic look soon too. My comic shop has it. I'm just not sure how much it is. It might be 40 or 50, so I've been putting it off. Shocker I found in stores, and Rhino. Surprised I even got those, because anything else Spider-Man related gets bought up quick, and it ends up being super expensive. Funny enough, now that I'm looking at it, I think I got that Spider-Woman when I got the Hydra Stomper too. But there's most of my Marvel Legends, like the ones I really wanted to display. I'll get to the rest in a second here. Just give me a second. I would just pan across the room, but most of this stuff I have set up in certain areas, and the rest just has to get organized or like more filled out, because this whole room, it's pretty open. I still have to, find ways to display stuff. But here's the DC Multiverse boxes, some of my favorite Megafig boxes. That Necron like back art is amazing. I really like the Frankenstein too. It's just kind of a shame you can't see the rest of what's going on, but I love how it makes him the main focus. And we just have some of the collector's editions, and then like some gold labels in here too. Nothing big. Also, if you see random stuff at the side of this video, this is from one of my sisters had the room, so don't worry about that. Still got to get cleared out. But this is my books/comic books shelf so far, and if you can see, that middle shelf is really sagging, so either I want to put like a support beam or just flatten it out and try to find a way to really stabilize it, whether it's getting a bunch of the same size books and putting it on it, but I don't want it to damage it, or just finding something lighter to put up there, maybe some figures in a display where it's like a couple with like the little stands above or something. Hey, it's Core while editing this video. Also, I did find something to do with it. There you go. I got the Bat Tumbler in the middle. I got the Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
I believe this is, I think Lucius Fox's kid is Batman, I believe. And then I got Zurin R, the Batman, like Robert Pattinson. I got some Gotham Knights. I got Nightwing, Tim Drake, Batgirl. Oh, one of these Red Hoods, I think this back one. 3 Jokers. The Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Robin, Cassandra Cain, and then the Tumbler. If you want to see it, I'll leave in a fun video of what this Tumbler does, because it actually has like an action. I don't have the McFarlane Tumbler. I haven't paid for it because it's kind of expensive. I would die for it because I love Lucius Fox, but here's the alternative right now, and you'll see why I love it so much.
But for now, we got Berserk Volume 1. I think I got a volume or 2 into it, never finished it, but I was reading it at work and then just forgot to pick it back up, I'm gonna be honest. Love Guts though, really cool character. Then we have The Watchmen. I don't even know what you would call this, like box set or something, but a bunch of volumes. There's there's like, I can't even, it's so thin, it's hard to count. Oh, of course it says the number at the bottom, sorry, 12. There's 12 different comic books, really cool. And then obviously, as you can see on the side, 2 just getting evaporated. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember who that is. That might be Night Owl and the one girl, but I could be wrong. Please correct me. Then we have Superman Year One by Frank Miller. My girlfriend's mom, funny enough, got that for me. Loved it. I love reading through it. I love how he goes into the military and then finds Atlantis while he's in the military. Kind of goes deeper into it, almost like a detective. He's like, oh, what's going on here? Saves them, and then ends up being like a boyfriend, girlfriend with one of the mermaids, or almost. I think he almost became a king, and then the dad was all pissed. But I gave away some of it. Please read the rest of the story if you somehow haven't already. It's very interesting. I read through it super quick. Then we have Kingdom Come. I still have to get around to, and Batman: The Long Halloween. I am excited as hell to read those. Then we got Justice League Origin and the Villain's Journey. I wish I would have known this was an omnibus ahead of time, but to be fair, when I got this Superman book, I also got the Justice League Origin from my girlfriend's mom. Sorry, I'm sick. I really apologize, guys. So I just ended up getting the next volume off Amazon. Funny enough, it came kind of damaged, so that sucked, but hopefully Amazon gets better with their packaging, because I know just whoever's watching this video, at least one person has had a bad time with it, whether it's like normal stuff or comic books. Then we have the Court of Owls and City. I still need to read City, but Court was really, really cool. I won't spoil it, but if you guys want a really quick overview, they have Batman in a maze in one of the parts, and the way they treat it is so sick. It gave me Prisoner vibes, like the movie. So then, after that, kind of really hard to read, but Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I said it in, I think, the video right before this, just a really fun read. I got through it really quick, just reading it on the way to work. I just highly recommend. Then, another one I'm very, very excited for, and been, like, the anticipation is crazy, but Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. With the movie that just came out, not gonna lie, you guys can give your opinions down below. I love hearing from you guys. The start and the end I loved. The middle really dragged, but I like how they set up. It just took way too long. But watching King Kong and Godzilla somehow never gets old, or it's cool kind of seeing how they do it through the years, from the people in the suits to the CGI, then the CGI getting better, like stuff like that. It's really cool seeing. I also love Mecha Godzilla, and I think the original Godzilla versus Kong, like of the recent MonsterVerse, if you get what I mean. Then we have Crisis on Infinite Earths. A lot of these graphic novels were bought for a reason. I am so excited to read that. I just got done yesterday or the day before watching part 3, and just in awe. You guys can tell me all about how you feel down below. All I ask specifically with that one is please put somewhere in your comic like spoiler, because I know people still have to see it, and at least for me, that was a big movie. So if I was other people, I wouldn't want to get it spoiled. Then as you can see over here, just some normal books. I kind of like mystery or like the murder or weird type. The Westies, I got a recommendation from a podcast. I got to watch that. That's about, I believe, the Irish mob going after like loan sharks from another mob or mafia or something. So I can't wait to read that. That's just more of a normal like history book. Then we have The Big Sleep. I think the cover or the summary on the back really interested me. I still have to read that. The Whisper Man was during my moth phase. I know this sounds insane, but I really like moths, especially because of Killer Moth. And I think that's another murder or mystery one. So I was like, why not? Like, the book was cheap and it seemed really cool. Then we have The Lost. I got about halfway through, didn't get bored or anything. Just another one kind of like Berserk where I just gave up. That one is very interesting if you need something to read. And then Diary of an Oxygen Thief, I think is a more like messed up, or what would you call it? There's like a genre for it. I don't know, thriller or something else, but like a movie type where it's kind of like messed up, and I kind of want to see how they write it and how the characters are. And then at the end, obviously, just a Crown Zenith ETB to hold it all together. And next up, kind of the heart of the collection, I got my Crested Gecko Amber. This gecko is so sick. Funny enough, I got it from one of my brother's friends. They were like, I'm going to be honest, I just don't want to take care of it anymore. Do you want it? And I was like, I would love it. And if I didn't take it, Acadia was going to. So it was hooked up. It had a home for sure. This is the setup I have for it right now. I either want to get actual plants, but be careful what I put in there just in case, or just decorate it a lot better so that Amber can climb and kind of have a good time. But as of like right now, Amber's just constantly climbing and having a good time just on the panels already. So chilling so far. Then we got some food. And then I believe we got this too, because you have to give them calcium, or there's something that they need, and I'm 99% sure it's in this, whatever they need. Yeah, where was that? I saw it. Yeah, the calcium's like midway through. So I believe it's highly recommended. You get them kind of like a normal food, and then almost like a calcium one too, so they don't not get it. There's something they can get. I can't remember if it's a disease or they'll like really thin out if not. And then just all that stuff. Next, we got just all the different like Starro little connectors, little starfish that it has just as extras. This is basically just like bulk stuff from the collection. And we got two posters. We got JoJo's and I believe, My Hero. I was going to say Attack on Titan, but that's a different one. We got some Funko sodas down there and some more books. Old Xbox too, funny enough. Then this is pretty cool. This is a lot of the Build-A-Figure pieces and different accessories. I really do like the jacket on Captain Boomerang, but if I'm going to have the platinum, I want the White Lantern logo to be as visible as possible. This was, I saw on Reddit, shout out to the person. Somebody did a head swap. They took the, I think, Earth 2 Batman outfit. They took the head off of it and replaced it with the Batrocidus. So I just have the Batrocidus head. I think it's this thing right here by the Plastic Man. And I just have my Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures. This is all Marvel Legends and the rest is DC. But I just had, Captain Boomerang's coat in here so it wouldn't get all messed up with the rest of the stuff. Then we have the weird Batman Beyond, like Joker Batman or whatever it is, Build-A-Figure. And a bunch of other stuff. We have the Dark Father, the horse from The Dark Knight Rises. You can see the Darkest Night down there. Plastic Man stuff, and it's really close. And then the Coldest Winter Build-A-Figure, which I'm not even really familiar with that villain or the like whatever the Build-A-Figure is. And I thought it'd be funny to point out now, instead of Marvel, where I like deep dove into Build-A-Figures, I've been a lot more financially responsible with DC Multiverse, which I would have rather had all the Build-A-Figures from this line. All right, that should be good for a second, sickness-wise or allergies, whatever it is. I just really had to blow my nose. So, if you want to, point your eyes to the top, this is where all my platinums are. Funny enough, the Superman I just got a day or two ago, and the Batman first appearance was literally yesterday. I have no idea when this video is coming out, but I got them scary close to each other, and some of these others too. It's been like the last couple weeks, and I mean like 3 or 4 max, maybe 5. I've gotten a majority of these because I like really got into checking a lot to try to get platinums. Now, the sad thing is the one I want the most, I don't have yet, but I am still happily checking for, and that being Blackfire. That's probably my second favorite, but it's really hard to tell because I love this Superman I just got. The steel's really cool too. Sadly, I think I prefer the normal. Then we got the Christian Bale Batman. Love that. So it's hard to pick, but for now it's probably Blackfire and the Jon Stewart. So getting right to the start of the shelves. This shelf is all devoted for the Lantern cores, as you can see. The sucky thing is they don't have like almost any representation for any of the ones you didn't just see. So we have white, sucky enough, it shows the green logo. It would have been so cool if it had the white, but it's on Sinestro anyways. But we have white, and a thing I'll point out really quick, I hope I don't get sidetracked throughout this video. But I got the Lantern rings. You can get them on Amazon. They come in this box. Hold on, I'll show them really quick. And what I've been doing so far is just kind of trying to find like little detailed stuff, at least in the DC Multiverse, like Lantern Core displays, that I can use to make it more special. So soon enough, I'm going to get like lighting, and then I'm either going to put a picture of the respective planet for each of the cores in the background, or I'll find comic books with covers that really match. So I could either do like, Greed's planet, or covers that show like Larfleeze or the planet, or like some kind of fight with Orange Lanterns, if you get what I mean. Also, while we're looking at it, I should just mention, also, if we're already going to be looking at it, I should at least mention, these are the rings I really don't have figures for. The only one I kind of can is the old DC Multiverse, or whatever they called the line, when it wasn't McFarlane's. I think they had an old Star Sapphire. I know Larfleeze for sure. I know there's an old Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner, and I think maybe an Indigo one. But the only one I can have for McFarlane, and I hope I end up getting, would be the Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. It's like $100, and for a normal gold label, it's kind of hard to justify when it's not a platinum, or I was going to say hard to get, but it definitely is hard to get. Getting back to it, sorry. We got the White Lanterns, literally just Captain Boomerang so far. Obviously, eventually, we're going to get Kyle Rayner too. Besides that, I haven't read Brightest Day yet, I believe is what they call, where they have the White Lanterns. And I haven't read a lot of the comic books for the Lanterns yet. I just got the Jeff Johns Volume 1 for it, so I can't wait. So I'm kind of really excited to see who they pick to be White Lanterns, because I know the whole premise is you master all the emotions, or all the different cores, obviously. Also, with these displays, I got the Funko Pops in just for now, but I'll probably eventually find a place for those rather than just stuffing in the display, because I want the displays to look like detailed and meaningful rather than just kind of thrown together like the Green Lantern one is especially. So going through it really quickly, we got the Kingdom Come Alan Scott. When I bought this, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know who it was. I just thought it was cool to have another Green Lantern. And then I got Kingdom Come shortly after it, and lo and behold, the Alan Scott's just chilling on the cover, and I was like, that's really cool. I really like how they kind of made him into a knight. He even has like a lance construct. Then we have the Kyle Rayner. I know there's been other Green Lantern Funko Pops made. I just kind of got to track them down or figure out if I really want them or not. So getting through the rest of the display real quick for the Green Lanterns, we got some display stuff. So one of the stands, and then this company is what I use the base for. I got to see. It's called Elevate Figure Displays. I'm not paid by them or anything, but it's really cool. You stick your action figure leg in this if they're kind of unsteady, and you can just put it on top of that podium, or you can just do what I have right now where they're just fine. So I just have them on the podium. So obviously we got Funko Pops. We got John Stewart. I believe that might have been my first McFarlane Green Lantern, and I made sure he's front and center. This was my first ever Green Lantern figure, and this was from a garage sale. I got it for 25 cents. I'll skip ahead of time so I don't forget to mention. But I also got this Aquaman, and there's a Catwoman in one of the spots in this video that I also got that was really cool, and a Black Canary. But when I was a kid, I loved Black Canary's thighs for whatever reason, and she had like fishnets on, and I cut them off to see her thighs. And my mom was like, that's weird, I'm throwing it away. It wasn't like really, really creepy. It was just kind of weird for a kid to do. So my mom's like, yeah, we're getting rid of that. So I'm getting right back into it. We got Alan Scott. This is probably a top 10 to 20 at least figure for me. I know it's a collector's edition and you better pack a punch for the extra price. But the way they did his lantern unique and did Alan Scott, it looks amazing. I love how the colors pop. I would love one day to have a really nice like uniform display like this dark green where these two match really well, that kind of look for the uniforms. But I love how Alan Scott pops. So then we have arguably my favorite McFarlane figure I've ever owned would be John Stewart. And it's funny because it's just the normal version. Obviously the Mosaic I have above the Platinum. That thing is amazing and honestly would contend or be my favorite, but I haven't taken it out yet. But I did a review on this if you want to see. It's not as professional as it could be. I'm working on doing like genuine, like really good reviews. But if you want to see it and hear my excitement reviewing this thing, go check it out. Besides that, we have the Fidgetal, I think they call it, wave for McFarlane. That HAL is amazing. And to see if I wanted to get it before I even found it in stores, I watched 5 parts of an articulations video, 5 points, I believe. And the way he reviewed it is exactly kind of how I think about it. Giving him credit though, obviously, where it's like, this thing is amazing. Don't skip on it if you like Hal Jordan. It's so good. And then toward, honestly, the start of my collecting for DC Multiverse was the Blackest Night wave. That Kyle Rayner, the green's kind of weird, but I really dig it. It's like, it is a really weird green, but the way the figure looks, kind of almost making it look like armor, I like it. It's fine by me. Then we have, I believe, my first collector's edition. We have the Green Lantern Batman, which I also have the Platinum Edition for. And funny enough, as soon as I saw the Platinum Edition, I was like, that'd be so funny to make it look like he's a construct. That same day, or soon after at least, I saw people posting like, use the Batman as a construct. And I was like, I love how the minds will connect and you'll just see something and everybody has the same idea. Then we have Zorro just to throw in here. I'm going to be honest. I think that's my only SH figure arts or whatever. I believe that I have. So I just throw him in the Green Lantern display for this video as a joke, like losing where he is or getting lost at least. And it's kind of funny because he kind of matches the greenness on the Green Lanterns. Holy crap, I'm out here struggling in between takes being sick. So if you guys are liking the video, please drop a like and sub. All right, getting right back into it. The Yellow Lantern display, I can't wait for this to be full because they really use the Yellow Lanterns how they should be, being fear, and they made some ugly members or just scary in general. So I can't wait to have those. A really quick story. One of the things I feel really bad about and wish was changed is the Platinum for Sinestro. I would love to put in my Green Lantern display, but they kind of make the outfit look like he's in his time with the Green Lanterns, but they still kept the symbol Yellow Lantern. So down in the comments, please, if you guys have the Platinum, do you like that it still has the Yellow Lantern symbol, or are you with me and you kind of wish they had the Green Lantern? But besides that, I didn't think we'd get this so early, but the Yellow Lantern Batman, I think it's the only one that was left in my Target, and I think Acadia even got this one for me, and it's still one of my, I don't know about favorite figures, but it's up there. The only thing is the boots are a little unsteady and weird to like get flat, and then the cape is a little too long where this part hangs out, so you kind of got to stand it weird so that he's still upright with the cape rather than leaning a little forward or back, if you know what I mean. Then obviously, just like all the displays, I made sure to throw the ring in, and just because I don't have one for it right now, I chose to throw in the Orange Lantern Batman. There was a really cute story when I was a kid that my mom would be on eBay and she would buy beads to make jewelry, and she used to find figures for so cheap, not knowing that they were fake, that she would buy me like tons, like Marvel and DC. I don't know what other DC ones I had, but there was a crap ton of Avengers that I had that were fake. But honestly, if you're not holding them or know what's been done or not, that looks at least half decent. Another thing I'd love to point out before I forget, sorry for like the little, you know what I mean, the little, all the little sidetracks. Please, McFarlane, if you see this, keep doing the lanterns unique, where they can be the same shape, I don't care, but having the actual logo on the top or doing different unique ones like Kyle Rayner got. Also, this one, sorry, it's unfocused, for Batman and Hal look amazing, and especially Alan Scott's unique. Please keep doing that. Next up, we got the Red Lanterns. Obviously, as you can see, we have the Red Lantern Hal Jordan. I kind of wish I would have waited, but I had FOMO really bad because there was only one or two at my Target, so I made sure to get it quickly. And then like there was like 5 to 7 that were just sitting on clearance. I don't know why people don't want these, but it looks amazing. But obviously getting to the big centerpiece of the display, and I tried to make all of the like leaders of the cores like front and center, at least for now, until I get a ton. Then like the big figs like Necron, Atrocitus, whoever else there'll be, I'll probably scooch them toward the back so you can see all the rest really well, and it'll have like a display behind them, whether comic books or their planet, and it'll like really stick out better. But for now, this is what sticks out the best. So obviously I got the ring, I got Atrocitus, and I got Batrocitus with, if you wanted to see, that's what their swapped head looks like. And I think it just stays more consistent with the other Lantern Batman. So when I saw that head swap, I was like, please, I'm going to take that so quick. Also, a weird thing, this was technically my second Build-A-Figure I ever completed for McFarlane, and I think still, as far as I've gotten, I don't think I've done more than 2. But I'm surprised because I had, I think Kyle Rayner and I think the Black Lantern Batman for the longest time. I just needed to get Deathstorm and Superman. I'm surprised it took me this long. That Build-A-Figure looks amazing. I love how in the head too, he's got like the little pore looking holes. Like he just looks scary and menacing. And I know he's Rage, but he looks pissed too, not just scary. Also, I love how they did a unique Batman like logo. I would honestly just like the normal Red Lantern for uniformity, but it looks cool. Also, again, thank you for the unique lantern. It's awesome. I hope McFarlane keeps doing them with the unique like characters he puts out. Like if there's I think it's the Red Lanterns where there's like a ball guy. It might honestly be Yellow. I don't know. Please put it down below in his name. It'd be very helpful. But at least like if you did, oh my gosh, I'm all of a sudden blanking. What's the girl's name with the wings? Like if you did her, please have her with another lantern, whether unique or more of the same ones. Because if you have to keep buying like an old figure just to get extra lanterns, that'll be so annoying. Sorry, the Red Lantern girl with the wings name is Bleeze. It came to me immediately after I stopped the recording, but I still had to look it up to make sure. And now we're getting to the Black Lanterns. I'm recording this on the floor for the most dramatic effect. But I got this Necron for a deal for I think $28 when it was on sale. I couldn't even find it before. I think it might have been in a GameStop once when I looked, maybe. But I just couldn't find it after that. And then people were posting that the Mega Figs were going on sale. So once when I was down eating with my girlfriend and some friends of ours, I found it and I was like, I'm getting it. I don't care. And I was joking with them. I don't even think they knew I liked collecting figures, but I was like, this was one of those you can't skip on. And what I love, and I hope this was in the comics too, because if McFarlane came up with this credit, but I assume it was probably in the comics, using his scythe to have a lantern on is one of the coolest things I've seen them do with a weapon. And it's not insanely hard to beat for the lanterns because their weapon is their ring. So you can really only usually do like unique rings, but having a lantern weapon and doing that is amazing. Necron looks amazing. The detail, if you get this figure and look at it, is insane. And the rest of the Black Lanterns, I'm just as impressed by. The only thing I would change is Deathstorm's chest. I assume that's how it is in the comics or some representation, but I would have loved for it to look a little bit more uniform with that Black Lantern logo. The blue in the back just kind of seems to throw it off for me, but in a weird way, it's kind of also cool that it's unique, if that makes sense. Also, again, thank you for the lantern. Please keep doing more of these. It looks sick. And then we got the Black Lantern, Batman, and Superman. And if you guys haven't kind of figured it out yet, first off, before I say that, they look amazing. But if you guys haven't figured out yet, in all the displays, I've kind of tried to keep Batman toward the right side. He's kind of like right center, but I'm kind of trying to keep him uniform, like in the same spot, if that makes sense. Next up, real quick, I think I kind of already mentioned them, but we'll go one by one, and I'll give like a real quick story or memento of when I got these plats. That was from GameStop. When I found it, not GameStop, sorry, Best Buy. When I found it, there was like 3 or 4, maybe more at a time. I ended up giving somebody a tip-off that gave me some information when I was out trying to look for them. He told me about the McFarlane EQL. Shout out to him. I still haven't won any of them yet, but very helpful information. So he was talking about looking for this. I think the original and the Platinum. I said, please go to Best Buy. They have like 4 or 5 of these, and I'm not lying. I might even be able to find a photo. If not, I don't lie about this stuff. It was insane. But obviously, it's a figure that people aren't going to jump over. And I think that same Best Buy even had the Superman, or at least I know they had it at Target. Next up, and funny enough, kind of goes with that story too, unless it was just coincidence, this was one of the only figures in the DC Multiverse like section at the time I found it a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if from that conversation, because I mentioned this, I told the guy how much I wanted the Platinum. I don't know if that same guy left it for me or if it was just like up to chance, like I found it when they put it out, because a similar thing happened with one of the Platinums near the end. So like I said in one of the videos, I think the Jon Stewart review, if that guy actually left it out for me and you ever see this, thank you. Next up, we got Superman. I just got the other day from GameStop. I think my 2 goats for Platinums is GameStop and Target at the moment. I'll find them sometimes at Best Buy, but it's usually some of the more like unwanted ones. Like they had another Captain Boomerang Platinum, and the only reason I'd get it is probably to have one in the box, but I don't want somebody else to miss out on it. But it has been there a while. Next up, we got Steel, my first ever Platinum I found, and I think first like at all. This has the littlest, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can. Scratch at the top. I honestly do not care. I think I found another one after this, but that one went super quick too. Next, I'm going to try to get a good angle, sorry. Next, we got the Christian Bale Batman. This one I found at Target too, along with Steel and the Jon Stewart so far. When I found it, I was out with my dad and I was so hyped. He was looking at one of the stores in the mall and I was like, can I please look real quick? He's like, dude, I don't care. Just, be back as soon as you're done. Found this, came back, showed him, and even he was hyped because he loves The Dark Knight. Next, another one, what I was talking about with Jon Stewart, where it was one of the only ones on the pegs. We have the Azrael Batman Armor Platinum. Funny enough, I found another one of these today. And just trying to look out for people, I took it off the pegs and put it immediately like on the shelf underneath it so that the hook wouldn't get messed up and somebody would easily be able to find it. Next, we got the Batman First Appearance Platinum. I found this yesterday now or the day before. Sorry, I'm getting this mixed up. But it was funny because I was just out with Acadia and she's like, hey, have you checked Target yet? And I was like, I kind of wasn't planning on it, but I might as well now that you said it. And I found that. So shout out to Acadia. Now, while we're up here, we might as well look at my flashes. I'm trying to think which one I got first. I think it was this Wally West. The look of it, I love. I love the maroon suit. The pants are kind of weird, but in a weird way also, they match really well. This version of Wally, the Dawn of DC, people can say whatever they want. The smile is creepy, but I will stick up for it till the end of time. It's mostly just the same thing with different face, I assume, if not all the way, like using the same body. For whatever reason, I love that figure. I took it in the car with me a couple times just to kind of see it, and it was awesome. Next, we got the Death Metal Jay Garrick. I hope to get the normal Jay Garrick soon because now I have like the evil, the rival version of Jay Garrick, and then the Death Metal. I think he'd look really good either in between these two, how they are right now, or obviously spacing them out a little bit better. But the Death Metal I got alongside the Dark Flash, I think is what they call it, or I can't even remember what they call that Flash. But it's the same Build-A-Figure wave, and I think Acadia got me both of these, so shout out to her again. She's usually really, really, really good with presents. The Rival I got a couple weeks ago on clearance. It was going on clearance for a lot of people, so I just waited, and I don't think they've still fully come off shelves, so they'll probably dip a little bit more on clearance or just stay on clearance. And last of the Flashes, if not Flash villains too, we got Godspeed. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this is another top 5, if not 10 figure for me. If not, and I know it's crazy saying this, I really got to look through all my figures, maybe even top 3. I know it wasn't super popular with people, and I feel like I've seen some posing issues, like just certain parts maybe not articulated as well or kind of having issues. The way I have it posed is ripped straight out of the comic as I could. I think when he first says, I am Godspeed, and just looking at him I love it. I feel like a kid. I still haven't even read that story, and I'm going to get the omnibus soon, but I still haven't read it, and this gives me goosebumps. I just wish they did my boy better in the show, not going to lie. Speaking of, too. Next, we got my Justice League / Society. So far, it's really, really thin or not fully filled out, but it's just based on like the figures I really want. So I still haven't really landed on an Aquaman, and there's a lot more that can be put in here. Obviously, like Wonder Woman and more. I won't even name or waste you guys' time, but at least so far, the Booster Gold and Blue Beetle from the 2-pack. Honestly, I really like the new Booster Gold. I don't know if they did a second version of him, but I know Blue Beetle got a gold label after the 2-pack. So I kind of also want the movie Blue Beetle too, because I heard that figure was really good. But for now, this is what I got for those two. Then we got the JLA Batman. That will be changed out soon. For my Justice League, I kind of really want to have the Hush Batman, or at least as the main Batman figure I have. So right now, that's just kind of like a placeholder. Then we have Kyle Rayner. Until probably the 2-pack with Kilowog, I swear I'm going to get that 2-pack because I want Kilowog so bad. I don't know what all has changed from this. I think it gets a little bit more uniform with that dark green, like just the green parts. I could be wrong. Again, if you guys have any answers to my questions, please put them down below. It's so helpful. But for right now, this is another goated figure. Like, I love it so much. This is probably my definitive Kyle Rayner for right now. And honestly, probably one of the top 3 Green Lanterns I have. I'd probably go Jon Stewart, the older one, the Fidgetal, Hal Jordan, and then this. Besides that, the Alan Scott is probably right there too. Then we got this Superman. This is the one I picked, at least from my collection. The face, the smile's like ever just a little bit off, but I don't mind. The only thing I see people complain about a decent bit is the hands, and they are pretty big, but just the colors and the look of it and the cape kind of flapping without being a wired cape. I just love it. So right now that's my representation for Superman. And next, sticking out like a sore thumb, we got the stoic Aquaman. This is definitely going to get switched out eventually, but it's another one of those, kind of like the Hal Jordan, where I got it from a kid. So, or I got it as a kid, so it has a special place, but this one, not as much as the Hal Jordan for sure. Then Red Tornado, I can't remember if I got this or a kitty got it for me. Every once in a while, if there's one I find that I'm like really hyped about, she'll look out for me and be like, I would love to get it for you after seeing like how excited you are, so I can kind of share that special moment for you or be a part of it if it makes sense. I know it looks weird just having a Red Tornado in front of Red Tornado, but when he's in it, his legs are a little too crunched together for my taste, so I got him just behind it because at the right angle, it looks just fine anyways, I'm not gonna lie. We're pretty close to halfway, if not done, so just stick with me here if you're already this point. As you can see, we have Batman's villains. The only one in here that's not is the ambush bug, but I think it's funny, so for right now, he's staying here. If not, I'll just shove him to the bottom shelf when you see it. And of course, got the Lego stand-in Killer Moth. But besides that, I'll start out with the big figs. When I found Clayface, I was so hyped it's not funny. I don't think it's my favorite he's ever looked, but for whatever reason, putting him with the rest of the villains, it just looks so good. I don't know how else they would make Clayface. I've seen the other Build-A-Figure from like the old DC Multiverse or whatever they called it line, and I'd honestly rather have this one. I like how the mouth even opens and closes too. I might even just keep it like that. It looks more disgusting. But then we got Penguin, who just came out a couple weeks or months ago. What do you guys think of the Platinum? I don't care for it too much, but I think it's like a retro theme, so it looks cool. I just wouldn't go out of my way to get it. Then we have Robin King. I believe that's from Death Metal. I haven't read that story yet, but seeing some of the characters or their outfits, I'm kind of tempted to. Then we have Azrael. Another, like, just based on looks, not the rest of the figure, this is another at least top 20 figure for me. I love how it looks to the point where I even have two of these. But I'm not going to lie, I only have two because at the time I bought one and then the other, I thought the gold labels meant they were like the limited edition, like a platinum edition. So I made sure to have one and then one in the box, but I don't regret it because if anything ever happens to this figure, I got another and I love that figure. Next up, at the moment, honestly, the grail of this collection, money-wise, because it is definitely probably top 5 too, is Bane. This has some articulation issues, but if you have him just displayed, or you can kind of find ways around it, Bane is like a centerpiece for any villain display. He looks so sick, and this is the look I'd want from him. The only thing I've seen people saying, I think it was 5 points of articulation, is they'd like to have it without the belts and the kind of gear look and just have like the singlet. Agree. That would be cool. But even with this, I don't mind. Then we have Talon. I get that immediately after reading The Court of Owls. I love the figure, and I actually on eBay almost bought somebody's custom version of it because they did a really good job. But the McFarlane was more than enough for me, and it looks cool. It even has 2 small blades and then the 2 swords, so I made sure to display them as well as possible. Only thing I would change about that figure is maybe cut out a little bit of the plastic like around the nape or the neck area in the back specifically, because that's as high as he can look up. But for the most part, it kind of does the job. You don't have to worry about it too much. Next, I do eventually either need the Arkham Origins Deathstroke or the Rebirth, because this kind of sticks out like a sore thumb for being Deathstroke. In the same way, though, it looks really cool. I just kind of want more of a classic look or one to really match, I guess, how he's represented. I don't even know what story this is from, but I saw this in Target toward the start of collecting DC Multiverse, and I really liked it, so I got it. And for now, it's either a placeholder or might even stay because it does still look really cool. Next, we got Man-Bat. One of another things to note really quickly. The only thing I really have wrong with this figure is I would kind of have him back further and kind of leaning forward a little bit more, but the feet are really unstable with how the body is made. The top is so top heavy and the legs so tiny that if you don't have it in a certain way or propped up against something, it's just going to keep falling forward or back. So I just have it right now already with at least one of the wings toward the back, and then I have it I have it leaning forward or back as much as it needs to be really, stable, I guess. Then we got from when I was a kid, and eventually I kind of really want the Eventually I do really want the McFarlane version of this, whether Build-A-Figure or the gold label. But for right now, I just have the Dark Knight Rises Bane from when I was a kid. And it's kind of funny because there's not a crap ton of detail. It just gets the point across just enough. So for now, it's staying in there and it's kind of cool. Next we have Blight. I didn't get to watch Batman Beyond when I was a kid, maybe really, really small bits and pieces. But this is another figure I saw in stores and I was like, I'd love to have this. I don't even think it was for Build-A-Figure pieces at the time because it was just like, I love this figure because I never ended up getting the, what's the white guy's name? Oh, geez. The like white armor suit. All right, sorry, I just looked it up. It's Shriek. I never even ended up getting Shriek either. I just really loved Blight. Then next, right as the movie was coming out, I think I got it immediately after I watched. I got the Riddler. This is another one of this is another one of the ones that I will be replacing with a more classic or comic book-y Riddler, but for now, I don't mind it because I really, really love that movie along with a crap ton of other people. I'm telling you guys, if I end up getting lights, these displays will pop so much more, but for now, the room light isn't too terrible. But getting right into it, this is going to end up being like a Justice League, like Legion of Doom, like the Justice League villains, if not like Crime Syndicate 2, until I get more space. So for now, we got Black Manta, we got the Antimatter, which I love this look. The Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3 look was cool, but I really like this classic comic book look so much more. I watched the video. The only thing you have to be careful on is if you're trying to do like a 360 with the arms, if you do it up enough and you're moving it, they'll just pop out. So about to this point, you kind of got to go up and kind of like, I can't even say it. I don't know. Just be careful if you're putting the arms up. If you just keep going straight up, they can fall out. So just avoid that if you can. Then we got Owlman. Sorry, it took me a second because I keep getting them mixed up, Owlman and Night Owl. Then we got Superwoman. Apparently, unless it's just eBay scalping, this figure really, really shot up in price, so I'm surprised. Then we have Power Ring. I think this was specific to one of the animated movies because I could have sworn they did a Power Ring figure before that was white, so kind of weird. But I prefer this. Like, this looks cooler. I don't know how. Then we have the Crime Syndicate Ultraman. He looks really cool. And at the time when I was getting these, I wasn't as familiar with the Crime Syndicate. Just really liked the looks and figured they were at least like the villain versions. But I kind of learned a little bit more about Ultraman and watched one of the animated movies that had it in it. I think it was Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. And I actually really like them. I just hope we get an official Johnny Quick soon. But besides that, this was my first Build-A-Figure, the Starro. And this wave couldn't have come out at a better time. I was mostly interested in completing Starro, and I'm very happy because it came out soon after the Suicide Squad movie. And thank God, again, I say it did, because I love these other 4 figures. This was one of the waves where it was like, I was basically just getting it for the Build-A-Figure, but thank God it was these figures that took it to make it, because I love them. Next, we got a Justice League Dark display. I can't remember if Frankenstein's in it, but if not, it can just end up being a Justice League Dark / Creature Commandos display. So far, as silly as it is, there's only 3, but it kind of looks clean like this. Obviously, I'm going to end up getting Zatanna, Deadman. I'm really sad. I kind of skipped on Deadman. I saw him in my Target and never got it, and I think it's starting to shoot up in price. And then whatever else from the Justice League Dark. Who are you guys' favorite members? Who would look really good in this display when they eventually get made, or if they've already been made? One I somehow almost forgot because I'm getting tired. I can't wait to get John Constantine. That's like at the top of my list to order soon because there's a crap ton of figures from the Multiverse line I either didn't find in stores or sadly passed up on that I gotta get again. John Constantine's at like the top. I love watching him in the animated movies. Hopefully, depending on if I get the omnibuses or just comic books, I really hope to read like some John Constantine stuff too. Also, I need to get the Demon Etrigan. That was one I was just talking about accidentally passing up on ones in stores that I just didn't know well enough at the time or wasn't as attracted to the look wise. I really wish I would have got the Demon. I think he went on clearance in a lot of stores or was like a peg warmer for a minute. And then the last part of the shelves, we just have recent figures that are really nice, but don't exactly fit into a display yet. This bottom shelf is either going to end up being Bat Family, or I'm going to figure out something for it. I do really want to have a Teen Titans display. I want to have, and funny enough, it's these 3 figures that are here. I do really want a Teen Titans display. I do really want a Bat Family one, but I also really want a Nightfall one because I've been reading Nightfall. I'm still only on volume 1, about halfway through, but I love it so far, and I do plan, if it keeps up how good it is and how entertaining to read, I will end up getting volume 2 and 3 and probably prelude to Nightfall as well. But obviously, you guys have been staring at them. Starfire Collector's Edition. Please, in the comments, give me some kind of good luck. I went to Best Buy today, and I got talked into ordering a Starfire. I know it has the chance to be a Blackfire. It's probably pretty unlikely. Please give me some luck in the comments. Then we got Cassandra Cain. I was surprised to see this one on clearance had a decent amount of people's target. I don't know if it's just ones that don't have as much demand in the area, but it was kind of weird because I know a lot of people were ordering them online. In the wired cape, in the look they picked, I wouldn't have done anything different. It's awesome. I just need to end up getting like a better pose for it. For now, it's kind of cool. It's like going through the air, gliding, doing a kick. I just need to maybe have it a little bit more directional where it's faced a little bit more this way. Then we have the Azrael Armor Batman, the normal one, and it's awesome. It's really awesome. I haven't read to this part yet. I don't know if they do have a red and blue suit. I know I have seen the blue suit. So unless it's in the comic book, I wonder where this red look came from. All right, not much more left here. It's kind of sad. But I'll start off with the top of this dresser. This dresser was already in this room and nobody was using it, so I'm just absolutely using it to my advantage for space. We got my Shane Gillis baseball card. I had to get this aftermarket because I didn't even know it was a thing till like a day or two after, and I think it was surprisingly high demand. It's Shane Gillis and Bryce Harper. He's probably one of my favorite comedians. He was the first one I ever got to see live. Then I got to see Matt McCusker and Mark Norman too, so it was really cool, but those were after. So really cool to get like a baseball card of him, I guess. And he was doing the first pitch for his favorite team, or home team at least too. Next, we got the Patrick Bateman Chase. I never really got into mystery boxes that much, but that one specifically, I did a $50 Funko Pop mystery box, and they promised like a certain value, whether it was like 40, 45, or the 50. So I ended up getting the Patrick Bateman Chase, and I hadn't watched American Psycho yet, but I watched it soon after because of getting that Funko Pop, and the movie's just entertaining as hell. You don't have to love it, but it's at least entertaining. Then I got this Godzilla. I originally got this for my dad's birthday because he loves Godzilla and Kong, but I think he knew it was just kind of a display piece that he wouldn't appreciate as much as me, so he like happily handed it over. He's like, do you want this? Like, put this in your room? And I was like, I would love to. Not even in a way where it's like he doesn't want it. But next up we have the Entei box. That's probably just going to get put somewhere. It's just up there for now. You'll see it in a second too. Then we got the Boba Fett and Scout Trooper helmets. I've had these for a minute. Like, I haven't built Legos in so long. And this was a time where I had a friend over, and he got I believe the black TIE Fighter, I believe. I was into Star Wars when I was young, but really fell out of it. But the one that was exclusive to Target for these helmets. And I think it ended up shooting up in price, so it's kind of cool that he has that one. But I'm happy to have Boba Fett and the Scout Trooper. I really love how the helmet looks. Then we got the top of the dresser, or at least the top of the normal part, not literal top, with a bunch of my manga, and yeah, no, all manga. I was gonna say in some comic books, but I moved them to that other shelf. First off, we got a Marvel shot glass that my sister got me for my birthday because I turned 21 this year. I'm not really a drinker, so I've just been using it for like little Dr. Pepper to not like drink my drink so fast, but also anymore as a display piece. But we have one of my favorite manga series of all time, and there's a lot more I gotta dive into. But this got me so into manga and back into anime, it's not even funny. I haven't been watching it as much recently, but it's because I've been watching a lot more of the like normal TV shows. So getting into watching Flash for the first time for myself, because I saw bits and pieces watching it while other people are. So when my brother was and one of my sisters, rather than for myself. So we got Vinland Saga book 1 to 9. I'm going to end up finishing them. One of the sucky things is for manga I collect, or just comic books or stuff in general, eventually they'll do like a really nice deluxe edition or collectors, and it's got like a really cool like black book deluxe edition. I don't know if they did them for the single books or if they did a couple in one, like how they'll do omnibuses or compendiums, but it sucked to see. But I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the rare cases where I love the colors of the books. I think especially in book 2 and 3, maybe 4, these are probably my favorite run out of the books. I really do got to read them. Toward the end, gets really good into like Thorfinn's humanity and like evolving in kind of like a really, really nice positive arc for him. So those are really good too. but these specific ones get so into action and different characters like Thorkel that I could not stop reading, because a couple of these I read on vacation when we went to Florida. Next, we got Full Metal Alchemist. I already read this. I still have to read this. I love how they did these. The book just looks awesome. And then they have the display for it. So this one's Edward. This one is Alphonse. And then I'll show you guys real quick because I didn't yet. Some of the Vinland Saga. Sorry, I'm just casually forgetting the way to read these while I'm making the video. These ones are really pretty. And I don't say pretty too often. This one's one of my favorite ones. Bro just casually guarding his girl. It looks like Thorfinn when he's older, but it's not. Because there's Thorfinn when he's older. If you haven't already seen it, well, now you have. I can't even remember his name. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute. Jeez, oh Pete's. But anyways, here's the other three. This one's another really good one. I argue one is probably the most iconic. This one's one of my lesser favorites. This one's probably the most iconic. I still can't even remember. I think I might have bought this for myself as an experiment. Like, Acadia had just gotten back into reading. I was like, you know what? I'll try it as well. I'll try to find a book I'm really interested in. In Vinland Saga being Vikings, I was like, why not? I'll try it. One of the best decisions I've ever made. So then we got Death Note. This was my excuse to actually get into it. I started watching the show but never finished it. I started reading this too and never finished it. But it is really good. I think I'm somewhere in the first Black edition. I definitely will read these. With my life lately, it's just finding time for stuff. It's not even like an enjoyment factor. Then, funny enough, for Christmas one year, Acadia's sister got this for me. And I was so happy, and we were messing with her because Acadia was like, well, it makes the most sense to get them part 1, book 1. And she accidentally got part 1, book 2. But I've watched so much of JoJo's that I already know what happens. It's just cool to have one of the books. I'll probably get all of them eventually, or a decent amount, just to be able to display them and go back and read rather than just watch. Because this series, man, is one of my all-time favorites. Then we got That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I think I read both. I know I read one for sure. Just pretty entertaining manga. A lot of them are, and that's why I'll continue getting the next volumes. Other times I get them to read, and I just haven't yet. Like, I haven't read Tokyo Ghoul RE. I got this to read rather than watch the show, and then I realized I accidentally got the RE, so that sucked. But I think I'm still going to read it. Then we got Heaven's Design Team, another one that I was like, I'm kind of interested in this. Let me read it. Didn't yet. A School Frozen in Time. This was really entertaining, and I did already read this. I need to get the next volumes eventually, but I still need to reread this to like get caught back up. Go with the Clouds, North by Northwest. This was one where I really got entertained by the cover, or really excited, and it just looks really good. So it was another let me experiment with it, see if I like it. Haven't read it yet. Got Dr. Stone. I wanted to get into this. Haven't read it yet. One Piece. Haven't read it yet, but I have watched up to like episode 70 something. It's just a time thing, and I guess my selectivity with stuff. The Detective's Already Dead. This had me hooked, but volume 2 hadn't come out yet. Is the normal manga. They released volume 2 as like a written instead, like just the words, and I was like, I want to wait for the manga. And it took so long, I just haven't gotten it yet, but it has come out, and maybe even more volumes. Then we got Noragami. Acadia and her best friend swear by this. Still need to read this. Fire Force. I believe I've read all these, if at least to volume 2. This is a really fun series. JJK, haven't read either, but really plan on it, if not watching it. Chainsaw Man, I believe I read up to volume 4 or 5. Really good. Had me hooked to where I got the next 2. Still need to finish them. Black Clover, I think I at least read volume 1 and 2. It's somewhere where they're in a dungeon, whatever volume that is. I love it, and I love Asta's like team he ends up getting selected to. One of a sleeper manga that I'm not saying isn't popular, because it's definitely popular, that really hooked me, and I used to make like reviews for it back in the day. I'm definitely going to reread a lot of these and make reviews again. Assassination Classroom. This is just entertaining, fun, goofy, whatever you want to say. I love Koro Sensei and like how they do this manga and all the different characters. It has amazing world building. It's not like they're building an insane world, but I guess at least classroom, like student building, if you want to say that. There's some really cute stories, like one's learning baseball, so Koro Sensei is teaching him how to play baseball, and a lot of like little cute stuff going on the sidelines. Then when you figure out what the premise is of it, it'll shock you. I wanted to go up here first. The Girl from the Other Side, another like cute manga that's not like cute as in like super girly or feminine, but more like wholesome and like a fun read. So I think I read all those, if not again, volume 1 and 2. There's almost always one I haven't read. Then To the Abandoned Sacred Beast, Kaiju number 8, and Black Torch. These were all ones I hadn't really heard of at the time. I think Kaiju ended up getting really popular. But I hadn't heard of them at the time, and it's ones I wanted to experiment and read. I haven't gotten around to it yet, though. Then Demon Slayer. I watched like to episode 6 or 7, haven't finished it yet, but I really did want to learn about, what's his name? Is this Tomioka? I can't remember, but Rengoku especially, and him too. So I got that. Still haven't read it yet. Sorry. Attack on Titan. I watched up until like season 4, part 1, somewhere in there or something. I do have to finish it, and I really want to. Just again, a time thing. And then Naruto volumes 1 to 9 with the little. Would these be omnibuses? I don't know what these would be considered. I think so. I've watched up to Shippuden every single episode. This was getting to relive it again. I just have to read through them. All right, sorry, that was a lot at once. If you're still hanging with me here, I really appreciate it. These are some of the more like just random Funko Pops I have. I definitely have a lot more of these, but they're mostly anime. So for now, these were the ones that were in like my actual bedroom that I just took in here for now. I think Ernie was one of my first ones. I got them from Barnes and Noble, and this thing has definitely seen better days, but I love the Muppets. I love Sesame Street, so I had to get that, and I think I got a good deal on it too. And then Kid Flash from Hot Topic. I think this one went decently up in price. If not, I love Flash. And then these two, which I think are Target exclusives or a part of that same line that the Kyle Rayner was. I know this for sure is Target exclusive. I don't know about Adam, but those are cool too. And then we have Jim Halpert. I'll show you guys real quick because these next 3 are chases. The one that says book on them. This is a really cheap chase. And that episode of Halloween where he just does like the dumbest costume he can come up with, I really liked. So it's cool having like the specific version. Then for whatever reason, I randomly really got into Rocko's Modern Life one time. So these chases I wanted so bad. I think it was 50 for both. So I got Heifer and Rocko. Heifer's definitely, like in the show, I like Rocko more, but Heifer's chase I like so much more. If I could go back, I would have just gotten Rocko's normal, just his normal look, because that one's when he's sick, and it just ended up growing off me like crazy. Then we got the Devastator. I don't know what happened to this box. Just either having stuff stacked on it for a while or something, I don't know. But got this one, I think it... Oh, FYE, it literally says on it. And I love this. The box, I think at the top somewhere is a little beat up. Yeah, it's a little ripped. But this is one of the only Batman 80 Years Funko Pops I ever got. And it's literally one of my favorite Funko Pops. It just looks so insane. Okay, this next part I'm going to show you. Here's where I have the stuff. I'm going to take it out to show you. But for now, this is where it's at when it's in the dresser to kind of be hidden out of the way and more organized. But first up, we have the graphic novels I still have to finish. So we got Superman and Wonder Woman, Batman and Robin that I got at Ollie's for a great price. So shout out Ollie's. And then we got the JSA I got from my local comic book store or local card shop too. The one I always go to. And next we have like single issue volumes that I need to read through. So we got this Flash one I got from Acadia, I think for my birthday, or she just went on vacation and brought it back for me. Then we have Swamp Thing, Man Bat. This one I literally just got on vacation. One of the X-Men comics, number 1. I don't know if it's Krakoa or where they're at or what one this is a part of, but that's why I got it, to read it and kind of learn more about the X-Men. Then we got the Action Comics, Fist Up, Superman versus Metallo. Again, another one I got on vacation. Same with probably the rest of these. Infinite Frontier. We got Mr. Miracle. Most, if not all, these being volume 1, so it can be like one I read and then go on to the rest. Green Lantern and Green Lantern, Circle of Fire. I believe either that's just for the title or that is Fire as a Green Lantern. I think it's just for the title. I could be wrong. This one I found it instead of the card shop I go to that has comics, this was an actual local comic shop, and then it closed down to go back to online. I think the rent in the mall was just too expensive, but that one really caught my eye. Star Trek, like a Star Trek and Green Lantern crossover, kind of weird but cool. Then we have Green Lantern 2021 Annual. I've never read one of these before. It really caught my eye having Jessica Cruz as a Yellow Lantern. Then we have Rise of the Third Army Prologue, Green Lantern, the New 52. Oh, this is Jeff Johns, so this might be in my omnibus, so I'll have to check that out so I don't just read through it for no reason. All right, next up, most of these are from Ollie, so I got a really decent price. We got Doomsday Clock Volume 2, or Part 2. I think this has an omnibus, which is another loss for me. I'd rather just have the omnibuses, but whatever. I'll just get the single for it, the single volumes or whatever, graphic novels. Another one, the trend you'll see with these is they're somewhere into the story farther on. So these I have put aside to read when I get to that point, if it makes sense. So like this is volume 4, 0 Year Secret City. So I'm obviously going to read 1, 2, 3 first, then get to this, if that makes sense. Then we have Justice League Hawk World. I think this is a volume 2 or 3. It should say on the back. Yeah, volume 3. Then we have Batman Death of the Family. Again, volume 3. We have Batman Detective Comics Anarchy. This is either a multiple volume thing or this specifically has him going against Anarchy in it. So that might be one I'm just able to read, maybe not. Then we have The Return of Superman. I think this is like a volume... I have to find it. Hold on, give me a second. If it's not on the back, it's usually on the side. So volume 4. And then these going with the same trend of the other ones, these are multiple volumes in or issues in. So this one's 49. No idea what run that's even a part of. So that's going to take a second to get to. Volume 14, Rise of the Third Army. Really cool. Has Simon Baz in it. Then we got Trapped in the Land of Death. This is a super cool cover. Again, though, volume 18. Then we got Green Lantern volume 21. I love with the Man of Steel advertisement too. I love this cover. This might even be part of the background for the Green Lantern Corps. Maybe for now till I get maybe Oa in the background or their power battery. Then we got Green Lantern volume 23 with Star Sapphire on the front. I'm not going to lie to you. Probably my biggest DC crushes being Star Sapphire and Starfire, funny enough with how close the names are. If not, obviously, the obvious ones like Batgirl, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, people like that. Like I said earlier, probably Black Canary. Then we got Green Lantern Volume 5. I love how it's him and Sinestro going against people because they're usually, going against each other. And it's even got a bunch of the Yellow Lanterns at the bottom. I'd love to see that fly as a figure. It's so random and I've never seen him before, but it would fit in so well with a Yellow Lantern display. Well, obviously because he is one, but you know what I mean. Another one, too, with the same premise, except for this one is volume 8 instead of 5, so this one comes after the other one. Also, I promise I will clean this eventually. This was being used by someone else before, so there's scrapes and some dust and ugh. Then, just like I was talking about earlier, we got Bleez and, Funny enough, I'm probably going to get the Brightest Day Omnibus, so if this is in it, it's probably just going to end up being one of those comics I have for the cover. But next up, we got Green Lantern, and this is a throwback. And then a really, really cool cover. I love getting the single issue ones. It's just impractical for me because I do really like reading the omnibuses where all the stories are put together. Also, please, as I'm thinking about it, somebody tell me what the difference is between an omnibus and compendium. And then we got this one too, volume 69, Underworld Unleashed with Kyle Rayner, of course. Don't know who this is yet. I'll have to read to figure out, obviously. And then we got Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, DC Rebirth, volume 7. Then we got Green Lantern Emerald Warriors. I love this cover because when you see the different versions of the different previous lanterns, like Green Lanterns, you got Kyle Rayner as the usual blue he gets put as, John Stewart as the purple, Hal Jordan is yellow, and then Guy Gardner is red. This is probably one of my favorite Green Lantern covers. I probably might have to pick with I might have to go with the first issue for Kyle Rayner though. Then we got another cool one. We got Guy Gardner with Alone like a crap ton of times, volume 11. Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. This is another really, really good one. And one of the funnier ones I have, one of the more recent ones too. We got Green Lantern Volume 10, A Guy in His Nort. And now going into the more out of the way for storage, at least at the moment stuff. First, we got a lot of my Bat family in extra figures until I find a place for it. There's another of those same Banes I showed you earlier because there was one for me, one for my brother. And then a crap ton of these top ones are DC Multiverse that I just haven't found a spot for yet. Well, basically all of them but these two. That one I got, I think, while I was on vacation when I was little. I think that's Copperhead. It came with a Darkseid Build-A-Figure headpiece, and I can't remember if I got it for that or me and my brother love snakes, so it was probably for that. And then if you were paying attention and already figured out for yourself and spotted it, from earlier I was talking about it, this was the Catwoman I got at that garage sale. It's really cool because it has bands on it. And I can't remember I think this is from Long Halloween. I could be wrong. And then one of my favorite bat suits I have, at least at the moment, Zur-En-Arrh. It's sweet. Then, of course, we got Pattinson in there all cuddled up. And then the Cyborg, Acadia got me. It just looks funny. These are mostly empty. If not, the only things in some of these are the stuff it came with minus the promo card. So we got basically, this is almost all the ETBs I have. I loved Crown Zenith, if you can't already tell, because there's these four, there's the one over there, and then there's an empty one somewhere else too. But we got the first ETB I ever got, Generations. I have a Celebrations one somewhere too, but I don't know what happened to it. Actually, yes, I do. It was holding my bulk, but I don't know where it is at this moment. Then we got two Silver Tempest, Crown Zenith, Obsidian Flames, 151s. I love 151. I didn't realize till after I was done with it how much of a chokehold it had on me and how hard it had me into Pokemon card collecting at that time. Not done with it, but I don't know if we'll see a Corey so addicted to Pokemon cards as he was during this era. Then we got Paldean Fates, another really good one, and I do want to jump back into this. I got away from it with the new sets, but I still love Paldean Fates too. Then Temporal Forces. For me, I really just want the really good cards. The rest of the set I sadly don't care about as much. I would die for that Raging Bolt, but my local card store hasn't had it yet, so if I could, I'll just buy the single. If not, I'll keep opening for it. Then we got Twisted Masquerade as well. Then the bottom shelf is one of the most chaotic, so stick with me here. These three for sure are in there, and then as it goes on, there's some in the boxes, some not. I know most of these supervillain ones are, but some are out. And then I just have the bulk of ones I need to still display. And like I was talking about earlier, this wave was amazing. Made sure to finish it. Love the Build-A-Figure. This was another really good wave. I can't remember what the Build-A-Figure was, but I'm really close to completing it, I believe. Oh no, I just checked. It's Zemnu, and I did make sure to finish it because it's these ones right here. So I did finish it. It's just downstairs with Crimson Dynamo right now. And then of course we got the What Ifs. This is the Target exclusive Captain Carter. I was so happy Acadia got that for me for Christmas. I wanted it so bad and still love it that I'm never pushy about presents or anything. This is such a shitty thing to do, and I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry to Acadia. But for presents, I love presents so much that, like, I'll take just about anything. It's the thought that counts. But that Christmas, I was like, please tell me you got me that, because if not, I'm going to get it for myself. I want it that bad. And I kind of pushed her, and she's like, yes, I did get it for you. And I felt so bad because it was one of the bigger surprises. But I'm so happy to have it, and shout out to Acadia. I love you. I appreciate it. The rest of these, some of the more noted ones, we got Moon Knight. I will be displaying that. I love that figure. We got some of the Shang-Chi. This was one of the ones at the moment. I did really like the movie, but a lot of the figures wore off me. I do really like the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure that was part of this wave, but one of the legs just won't go on, and it's pissed me off since. The one I was talking about earlier, Spy Master, still don't really know about this guy that much, but I love the colors. I love the figure. It's amazing. I believe this is a reuse from a Spider-Man body. I could be wrong. It might be Bucky Cap or whatever they say. But it's awesome. And then the last little bit, we got a bunch of What If, and then the Eternals. I can't believe this movie flopped as hard as it did, or hearing some of the people's opinions. I loved Makari in this movie, and I think this movie did have some really decent parts. I can't believe it's got crapped on as much as it has, but it was all right. And then we got some of the Black Widow movie ones. Then toward the last parts of the display, I'll show you this. This is really bare right now. It's going to get filled in a little bit more, but I'm trying to do my best to display it as nicely as possible. So as you can see, my first ever ETB that I've saved, I'm not opening this. I haven't gotten to open that much Evolving Skies, but I found it in Walmart. And sadly, I found both versions of this, but I could not justify buying both in one run, and I really wish I would have, because I had the one that had these on it, Vaporeon, Espeon, Sylveon, Glaceon. The other had Leafeon, Flareon, Umbreon, and whatever the other one is. Hold on. Oh, geez. Oh, Jolteon. See, I'm still good. I got it. Uncas got it. But I even hit it, and somebody still found it. So it's kind of sad, but at least I have this edition. And I think this is the one that goes for more, unless it's the Pokemon Center exclusive one. Besides that, almost ever since saving this ETB, I've tried to get at least one ETB from every line. So I think I have one of Temporal Forces that's still downstairs. Sorry, I keep making it unfocused. But I got Twisted Masquerade, Paldean Fates. I got my two binders up here. These are top loader binders. So this one is for Slowpoke and all the different evolutions. So Slowpoke, Slowbro, Slowking. And I'm trying to collect every card for all three of those. and same with Latios here. I really like Latios too, but Latios is so much better, and especially because it was my first ever shiny on the first encounter. I think in black too. And then we got Entei and Raikou. I don't know how Raikou got moved like that. I think it was from the switch cord, but it's supposed to be straight, and then I'm eventually going to get Suicune 2 and have it facing like this. Then we got the switch for now, and I'm probably going to do a cool little display in here. It's not hooked up to a TV, but for now it doesn't need to be. I really do like the handheld because I don't play anything too competitive on it. Then we have my Temporal Forces booster box. It's just like that for now because it's got some packs in it, but it's not filled. And then I'm going to tip it up with like packs in it so it looks like how I got it, except the packs will be either just bulk or empty. And then we got my complete 151 binder. For the people that aren't as into this stuff, that won't get to see it, I'll show you really quick. What? Do I still need Ivysaur? Oh. Anyways, I think that's literally the only card I need. But here's all the rest. If I ever go broke, I'll just sell this thing. This easily goes for, I think, 1,200 plus. Because some of the art rares in this and how much effort it takes for the people that have the Master Ball versions of each in all the Japanese. That's insane. I've even seen somebody that has every single card in the Japanese set, obviously counting Master Ball, at a PSA 10. That'd be so expensive. I mean, even if you're grading them yourself, that's insane. Even the normal cards are really good, and then you get toward the end where it's all the art rares, and even some of the trainers, and I'm just blown away. It's so cool. I thought of even not putting this in here, but I don't care. It's so cool when they're all together. I also made sure these are supposed to be set up differently, but I saw somebody be like, screw that, I'm just putting the Evo lines one after another, and then I just did the same thing. But it just blows my mind. And if you do it correctly, where you do the commons and then the reverse hollows, you will have just enough to have every single card. And then if you couldn't tell already how much I love 151, the plan originally was to get a bunch of booster bundles and fill up this display, but you just can't find them for cheap, and you just won't really find them at all in stores. So for now, I just got the 3 empty ones in there. There's the full display. And then one of my favorite things to come out of 151 for whatever reason is the tins. And you don't have to believe me, but I don't want to poke through all of them. But I have every single unique tin in here, and I love it. And the funny thing is, they did this set so well with art rares, all the different stuff, normal cards, just the artistic side of it, that I'm not even like a Gen 1 stickler where I'm like, oh, it's my favorite generation. It's like the main part of Pokemon I love. Look at all the stuff I've got, even though it's not like my favorite gen ever, and those are, my main favorite Pokemon, and I've still got all this stuff. It was amazing. I figure while we're at it, I might as well just go through all these pages and show you guys. If you can see, some of my collectibles as well. If they've been in my room, Odie somewhat got to it. He used to lay on these, and he'd stick out his claws, so the front looks funky, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the least bit mad at him. It's so funny. But here's the Slowpoke we have so far. They're ordered by release. So if there's random skippings, it's not because I randomly got lazy and I was like, I'll put this one here, whatever. It's by when it came out. So I don't have the first one, obviously, and there's spaces in between. Decently filled page, not so well. This, I believe, no, this one. Because I think it's the full art, the rainbow, and then I think the alt art. If I get this, you will hear me jumping for joy. My card shop used to have it, but it was as I was just getting back into Pokemon, and I could not see spending 100, 120 on one, and then somebody sadly bought it to finish their set. This one's the best filled, I think, on this entire page. This is a lot of the more recent Slowpoke, so it was easier to fill. So we have the art rare. I opened a ton of packs for that, not an insane amount, but at least for me. And then I just finally bought it at the card shop. They had it in. Same with this shiny Slowpoke. So happy to have. And then the 151 is so cute too. I thought of making sure to get all the reverse hollows too, but I'm going to be honest. For it being my collection, I don't care. I'm not going to go through all that effort. And then I think I made sure to leave spaces for Slowpoke, Slowbro, and Slowking. And then obviously there's going to be extra at the end too. But this is just for if more Slowpoke cards come out. Then we got the start of Slowbro. These two I got from the card shop. That one was one of my first times going, and funny enough, this one I got for free, or I got another light Slowbro. I think I have 2 of those now. They gave me one for free. Some decently modern, at least at the bottom here, with Slowbro EX, Mega Slowbro, and then I can't even remember what set this one is from. No idea. But I particularly love this one too. And funny enough, while we're looking at it anyways, this card I have a graded card of, and it's the only graded card I have so far, and the first one I've gotten, obviously. Then next up, we got all the more recent ones. We got Galarian. We got the, I think this is from Scarlet and Violet. Is this base set? I'm not sure. And then 151 and the Shiny Slowbro. I think I found this and the Shiny Slowpoke at the same time. I wish you guys could have seen me when I did. Obviously, extra space for Slowbro. And then we got the Stardust Slowking. I think this Slowking card and a bunch of, honestly, the Slowpoke and Slowbros, the card shop had a bunch of like old card bulk, and I went through and I'm sorry, the storage cut out. I can tell this is already going to be a long video, but I found that and a ton of others. And I think this one I either found myself or they put aside for me. The card shop's so good. Same with this one. This I randomly had in my old collection. I'm so glad I did, because that might be expensive if I didn't. And then obviously some of the more recent ones and some of the really recent ones. This one was surprisingly cheap. I'm talking, I think, sub $10, if not sub $5. So really happy to have that one too. This is one of the more expensive ones I've gotten. I don't know what some of the other Slowkings were, but this one was only like 30, 32, if that. This one I ordered online, and that one maybe too. I'm not sure. And then this one I got for the card shop, either free or like really cheap too. And then the rest of this is just if extra Slowking cards come out. Or honestly, I've seen in some cards, they'll have the Pokemon in the background, even if it's not in the card, if that makes sense. Or even if it's not its card. So there's a Raticate with Slowpoke in the background from, I can't remember if it's Pacific Islands or what the set is called, but I do need to get that one. Also, before I finish the Pokemon stuff, I did forget to show you this other thing. Hold on. These are the comic book single issues I have so far, where I basically just bought them for the cover. Now, I don't have any graded comic books at all, so I got 3 of these where it's, I think, Kyle Rayner's first appearance, or like first issue of him, because I think he shows up in something just before this. But I got 3 of these so that hopefully one day when I get these graded, I'll either get a 10, or I think for the main comic book grading, 9.8 is like the highest or like most reasonable. I think 10 is like insanely hard to get. So at least like a high rating, or at least to get them graded would be cool. But anyways, here's the third. And then one I just got, Blackest Night JSA. I'm going to end up getting the Omnibus. So this is probably going to be used as background for the Black Lanterns until I get their planet, or I don't even know if they have a planet, like some kind of background for them. I think a cemetery would probably be sick. Okay, on to the Latios cards, and then I think this sums up the Pokemon collection, and there's just a little bit left of the room, I promise. But Latios. So Latios can get kind of pricey, so you're going to see a decent bit of spaces. It's mostly because I like buying the singles from the card shop, even, you know, price aside, rather than just online. So we got the Latios Delta Species. I think I had that already. I had this Latios, I know for sure already. It was in one of my binders. This I got from the card shop. 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 All super cool cards. This is probably my favorite from this entire page, even though the Mega's on here. That one has a super special place in my heart, though. And then we get into more modern. The Prism cards, I really wish they'd do again. Or for some of the legendaries that haven't gotten it yet, because those are weirdly cool. It just feels more like a Magic card for whatever reason, or one of the other card games. Then we have the Latios and Latias team-up card that's a full art. I think there's either a regular version, or I'm not sure what goes there. I would die to have this alt art. We also have the Latios GX full art, Latios GX full art rainbow. And then we have Latios from a Scarlet and Violet set that I can't remember. Oh, Paradox of Rifts. I think the rest is just open for if Latios gets more cards, but there's no way Latios gets this many cards even till the day I die. So I might honestly start collecting Latios, or put something else in here that I really like. Maybe like Raikou. I don't like that it would be in the blue theme, but might as well so I don't just pay money for no reason. And then last up, one of my favorite parts of this collection, room, whatever you want to say, is just kind of the hangout area. I'll show you guys real quick. Here's all my Pokemon plushes. We got Latios, Latias. Acadia got me both of these. Very grateful. Love you, Acadia. Thank you. We got the Sleeping Slowpoke I found at GameStop. The big Slowpoke I found at Target. And then I gotta find, I think he fell behind, sadly. But while I was on vacation, I got the Slowpoke plush puppet just because I loved how it looked. And they used it in this skit that I really liked for like a parody of the American Psycho scene with the cards. Then we got Slowpoke. Oh, Acadia ordered that for me. I was trying to think if I got it, but I didn't. Then we got Carnivine. I got this Carnivine in a Slowbro that I think fell behind the couch. I got to get. While I was on vacation, I got it off the Pokemon shop, and it was here when I got back. They're so cute. I really like the Carnivine. And then Pikachu, funny enough, Acadia's grandma got for me. So shout out Acadia's grandma. Love you. Thank you. And then we got this Marvel blanket. I believe Acadia's mom got for me. It's one of the ones that's so comfortable. And right now I'm just using it to cover up the normal couch. There's nothing wrong with the couch. It just makes it so much more comfortable. Then we have my notebooks for writing down ideas and different stuff. And then at the moment when I'm trying to read and get through, just haven't been able to find a lot of time. Batman Nightfall, Justice League of America by Brad Meltzer, and Green Lantern by Jeff Johns. I've already read a decent bit of this. I don't know if I've gotten past a quarter, around a quarter maybe. But one of my video ideas to start out my Core Critiques channel is to sit down, restart, and read through all of it in one sitting. Have like a really funny like time lapse of me doing it while I'm explaining some of the stuff in the video, and then just show you guys like some of my favorite arts, explaining the story, you know, talking about my favorite parts, obviously, like I've said, and just giving an overall rating or recommendation if it really deserves it, which I think we already know it probably will. And then Nightfall. I love this. I haven't even touched the Justice League yet, but it's set out for a reason. I really want to read it. Besides that, the rest of the room is just kind of random stuff. Those were my sisters, so either she's going to get them or I'll continue to take care of them. I don't mind. And then just the rest of the room is, I'll just try to give you guys an overview. It's really cool, man. And it's right across from mine. It's awesome. And then all these vines and lights are from my sister. I'll probably move that. I assume probably to like right here or some area, but that's so that I can read in this area and I can have it over my shoulder, almost like one of those book lamps. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you stuck through, thank you. Please leave a like and sub. It would mean the world to me. And if you didn't answer any of the other stuff, leave a nice comment, maybe some recommendations for lights, figures, something you liked about the collection, anything. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you later.